Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. The action has already started. Van Basten making himself the star of this show. Hard to believe, really, that he's already made it up to 300 appearances.
Well, Peter, I can't attest to this personally, not having made it to that many appearances myself, but you only need to look around to see not just how much it means to him, but everyone that's here and beyond. This is a huge moment.
Looking to play him in. Plays it through. Neymar in acres of space out. Decent chance! And it's hit the woodwork and out! And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Engages and forces him off the ball. That's a sharp pass. Now it's Luis Suarez. Looking for options for movement. And he's gone looking for safety. Xavi Alonso. Now it's Messi. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. He's had it taken off him. And it's Belletti. Tries to play it through. Here comes the cross. Dida claims it. Safe hands. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, neither side has really grabbed the initiative, I would say. Both must have come in with a view of not making any early mistakes. So we're seeing some conservatism here.
And he's picked it up out wide. Now, try to spin that positively. I certainly can't. Pirlo. Aimed beyond. Great chance! Oh, it's fallen kindly here. He's scored! And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
Well, I admire players who do that because they just don't give up on anything.
Port have taken the lead.
Yeah, and just as the manager's been reminding his players, this is the time where they can't afford to let their focus slip.
Can he spark a counter here? Serginho gets a foot in here. Oh no, that was never going to make it.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Neymar is in a really good position out wide. That is a crunching tackle. And he has slightly undercooked that one.
Port clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
Cleared without complication. Messi, a player so deservedly decorated with praise and glory.
Have beautifully policed that midfield. The opposition have been handcuffed.
It's been slipped through. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through.
I'm not sure the shot was ever on there, really. There were just too many bodies in the way, Peter.
Oh, he's managed to get himself offside. That has ended up in no man's land. Port trying to orchestrate a breakaway here by the looks of it.
Well, I would say that this is probably the easiest way to play the game because you try and absorb in numbers defensively and then you look to hit it with a long ball quickly on the counter-attack to get your men in behind the opposition defence.
Just looking for that one telling pass. Cross into the box. And it's Belletti. Hoisted in. That's an excellent interception. Baresi cuts it out. He has found a way through. picked up, he's going for goal! That is a jarring tackle, but apparently nothing wrong with it. Cruyff. Adams.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
That is good pressure, just hounded him off it. Goes long and straight. Now that looks a decent ball. Nice interception, his positioning was spot on. Iniesta. Now it's Messi. Half-time getting close now. And the finish! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Cruyff actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Milan with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. Pirlo. Now who's going to be first to this? Port have the chance to go the other way. Now it's Xabi Alonso. Van Basten. There's the header! Oh, split-second reaction.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Now it's Luis Suarez. That's good running with the ball. And that is going to be the final action of the first half. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff.
Well, let's not beat about the bush, Peter. It's been fairly flat, and the support have had little to cheer about. So an awful lot of questions have got to be asked, and the answers need to be found in a hurry.
So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the...
And a chance! An attempt which, in hindsight, was probably just beyond him.
Yeah, it didn't come off, but still very good quick thinking on his part. Well, the moans and groans from the stands now are very audible.
Played through for him. Baresi. Oh, there's a probing ball.
They've got to make this nice and quick.
Conte, always on the lookout for any signs of danger. Messi, Costa Curta, promptly onto that, and that is that. Oh, he's been real chance! He's got a goal! And there we have it, the two-goal cushion. It is a good finish. The odds were against him, little matter.
Well, at one stage, he was being body-checked, Peter, and then the next minute, it's in the back of the net. That's wonderful striking.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Yeah, and you have to say that the contrast of moods are very visible now. They really fancy themselves to go and wrap things up.
Now, he's got space here. It's a pretty loose pass. That's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. Well-timed, excellent interception.
Well, the way this game is offering less possession, they'll need to have a very good conversion rate.
Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. Messi! He scores! Oh, I think it's been called offside. Yes, it has.
Is the light very short-lived? The referee's assistant did have his flag up. It might have been close, but it was correct.
Disappointment and relief on either side. Nothing doing. No, that's been intercepted. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Oh, that's a fine interception. And he's there to belt it away. And it's Serginho. And this is Van Basten. Van Basten was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Pass somewhat off target. Pirlo. Great ball. And the shot! It's there! Just one goal in it now! Game on! Just so calm under pressure, and he managed to fashion a fine finish.
Well, he had to deal with an awful lot of unwanted attention, but his tenacity won the day.
Milan get themselves back into contention.
Well, there's a real sense that the momentum has shifted here, Peter, and the crowd are reacting to that now.
That's a good intervention. That was what he had to make in the face of danger that was growing. Iniesta. Oh, that's delightful. And this is Xavi Alonso.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
They're coming again and again.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Maldini tries to pass it through. And he's managed to get free. Chance! It's a goal! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
And yes, it's him again. Port take a 2-goal lead and are looking good for the win.
The crowd are calling for this to be put to bed. There's little sympathy about.
Van Basten, and he's locked. It's Van Basten! And yes, it's there! What a moment for the triple centurion, for one of this team's favourite sons.
Well, a 1-2 is easier to pull off than most dribbles, and I think we've just seen the proof.
We have got ourselves a game here.
Well, they'll just be praying that one more chance falls their way before the whistle goes.
Can he latch on to this?
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Now the cross.
Sostituzione per il Milan. Numero 27.
Both sides then taking this chance to turn to their benches.
Numero 26. Cambio di giocatori.
Bops him off it and wins back the ball. 5 minutes left on the clock. And it's Cruyff. He's a sharp little ball here. Takes a shot! And he hits the net. They have stolen level at the last. They forced the error and extracted the maximum punishment.
But Peter, they should just never have lost the ball from there, but you have to give credit and fairness to the front-footed pressing too. Made things quite uncomfortable for them.
All square again into the dying minutes.
Credit where it's due. This is great attitude. Now the only question is whether there's enough in the tank to grab another.
He's got tall. Oh, what about that? And that has raised the roof. Swift, incisive, deadly, all done in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, I had a feeling we were going to see something like this, Peter. They're always looking to lure and lunge at you and hit you on the break. It was very nicely done.
And he's done it again. He's got his second. Milan complete their comeback, and now they only need to hold out for a few minutes.
There's still a bit left in it, Peter, but they should find the necessary to avoid a slip-up now.
And there goes the final whistle. So the winners, bullish and belligerent, are